Oh, oh no, 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 no. Welcome back, everybody, to the Breakdown Podcast YouTube channel. I am Vic, your host, and with me, as always, is my partner in crime, Corey. Oh, oh no, 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 no. You've been sucked in. You've been sucked in to the ridiculousness.
I could not resist. Welcome back, everybody, to the Breakdown Podcast YouTube channel. My name's Corey, and as he said, he is Vic. I couldn't resist. I am so sick of this. I'm so irritated. I know this is so stupid and so meaningless, but the intros every week we see this stupid shit from. Oh man, I cussed too early in the video. Now we're gonna get demonetized. But
well, you act like we make money off of this.
That's very true. I'm so. I don't get it. You people are adults. What the hell are you doing? In fact, you're probably older than. Well,
you're older than adults. Hold on. What's past adults? And when do we get there?
No. I was gonna say they're older than me, but Nicole probably isn't. What is that crap that they do,
dude? So my daughters are championship cheerleaders, right? And they have these things called facials. So like, if you've ever seen cheerleaders, like when they throw them up in the air, they make like these weird faces, like these over exaggerated faces. They're called facials, and it's to get the attention of the judges while they're doing what they're doing. But that's pretty much the extent of what they're doing. They're doing these weird things, like you said, like the heart and the kissing of to the camera. And I'm like, okay, we get it. Like, but they do it so much, and it's so disingenuous and so unrealistic. Like, it's not even like it's because they actually feel that way. They're just pantomiming to the camera, and it gets old. And we're in what, season 7? And it was dried out after season 2.
it was done after the second episode of the first season.
I didn't. You
missed out on that.
I started in season 2, so that's what I'm saying. It was over in season 2.
Yeah, and then I'm not even gonna get started on the crowd's reactions as well too.
Oh man. I still like. Are they like whoever does the best reaction gets a prize at the end of the episode? I don't know what it is, but
because here's the thing: the people in the crowd know where the cameras are.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, on some of the shots you can clearly see it's a close up, so they know the camera has to be right there, or focused on. So, and plus, I'm sure the producers are down there going, "Now everybody act real excited, and the more crazy you look, you may be on TV."
I like to think that there's just a little marquee above them that has like a digital screen that says applause, surprise, sadness, happy, and they all just have to like pantomime whatever that emotion is that they're telling them to put up there.
Yeah. That way, when somebody shows up and they don't know who the hell they go, and then they cut to the crowd and they're going, "Oh my god!"
Yeah. Act surprised. Oh my god!
You don't even know who that is.
That's what I said. I was like, "Who is this Stonehouse guy?" I don't know who that is.
God. Oh, speaking of which, this episode, we're back to no guest judges.
Mm-hmm.
Ironically enough, since we have no other Fox shows to cross from.
Yeah, we have no shows to pimp, so we're not going to have a surprise guest on.
I tell you what, I'm going to be fully frank because he doesn't get enough clout. I am starting to get over the show. It's starting to wear thin on me, and my irritation is starting to increase. But let's get into it. We're down to the final 3 people.
Oh, you haven't even done the intro yet, dude.
Oh yeah, Pick.
No, that's not the one either.
No. What's the intro?
We do the show every week. The whole thing. Like you haven't done the whole thing.
See, now that's the problem. I got so
you're all thrown up.
I completely forgot about what we do.
They've got you off your game.
Yeah. Normally I'm not this bad, but it is 10:30 in the morning, and I'm a little grumpy. We do this show every Tuesday. We do our show every Tuesday on Twitch. That's twitch.tv/MillerKing_51. It's a live show, and you can come by and join the chat. Trust me, we're not this.
Corey's not quite so crotchety.
We're not this grumpy. But yeah, this week we'll be talking about The Flash as well. It's the season finale of Cobra Kai. Next week we do get into Moon Knight. So come by and check us out at 7 p.m. Eastern on twitch.tv/MillerKing_51. The link will be in the description down below. If you can't make the live shows, we do have the audio versions available on Spotify as well as Apple Podcasts. And since you're here, if you haven't already, please hit the subscribe button, hit the bell for notifications, and leave us comments and let us know what you think. And so with that being said, Vic, let's break this down.
This week's episode of The Masked Singer. It's so I actually do like that they're doing it this way, to where they're just like getting through Group A and it's done with. So like the winner of tonight's episode is now into the finals. Like each batch is a semifinal battle basically. And I do like it this way better. It almost seems like it's easier to keep track of the clues, what's going on in the stories for everybody, rather than like, okay, this week we're going to have this group, and then next week we're going to have this group, and then the week after that we're going to go back to this group, and then move to this group, then we're going to throw the third group in, and then we're going to go all the way back to the first group. Like, that was annoying as piss. Yeah, I like it this way much better.
I'll say this. I've got a difference of opinion on it. Simply because we've had 3 weeks now with this group. The second week we had one clue. So between the 3 weeks, we haven't had a lot of clues. And this is the first time out of a group I didn't really have a legitimate guess on anybody. And I think it's because they cut down on clues. And it seemed to me like these went a lot faster. Like, we went through this group really fast.
Yeah.
And there was no opportunity to try and guess. And so we're kind of left going,
that's only if you're not me. I had plenty of opportunities and came up with plenty of guesses, even if some of them were wrong.
Well, that's because you're Googled.
Because you got to follow that. Like, they give you clues. What else do you do? What do you think anybody does when they
use your knowledge?
Dude, did you go to a library and pick out a book and be like, oh, that's right, they don't have IMDb in the library?
Actually, they have computers.
Oh, so you just Google it? Because that's all IMDb is Google for movies.
That's true.
So I win.
I am listed on there. Are you listed on there?
I am too. So
yeah, I was hoping to have one up on you. All right. So first things first.
I'm actually listed in there for 3 movies, by the way.
Ooh, 3.
3.
I'm on there for like 8. First up, we had Firefly, and we had. What clues did you pick up on this?
Was Firefly wasn't first? Was she? No. Thingamabob was first, sir.
No, he wasn't.
I wrote these down in order.
Okay, fine. Thingamabob was first. It doesn't matter because I didn't pick up any real clues on.
So, dude, like, they put a kangaroo in front of you.
Yeah, I know.
Which meant Australia, right? You had the black. Okay, so let me break down the clues for you. So you had the black security guard in a blonde wig, right? Mm-hmm. Which would mean something to do with Aborigine. So that's another Australia thing, right? You had, he was talking about his family, which if you looked it up like I did, it's talking about the fact that his family didn't appreciate the fact that he was planning on leaving to go on this grand adventure and they didn't think he was going to be able to do it, was another portion of that. They kind of rehashed the prior clues. So they were talking about the shields. And how they showed the shield, and the shield is one of the symbols for the NFL. Also, the fact that if you looked at it, the way the shields lined up behind him, it actually they didn't say this. I looked at this and figured this out. But if you look at the way the guys came out with the shields, they were lined up with him as the offensive tackle. Where he was standing with the shields around him, really? It was the offensive line. And I didn't notice that when they first did it, but when they re-showed it, I was like, oh, motherfucker, look at that. Mm-hmm. That's pretty out there, right out in their face. But, so they went through him. He sang. So do we just want to kind of go through who they are since we already know that they got
okay,
revealed?
let's not yet. We're not gonna. We'll save him for last since he was revealed. Well, actually, two of them were revealed, but we'll save him for second. Let's go to Firefly,
Okay.
and again, she has some clues come up. I'm still sticking with my answer of sore loser. And
What was your? You had another answer for that as well, though.
Oh, it was Mary J, but
Yeah.
it's definitely not Mary J. She's not a sore loser.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay, Firefly came out. Okay.
Yeah, so she comes out, she sings. Everybody was, that was so amazing. That was so. I'm like, it was okay.
Yeah.
I mean, it was. I've seen better.
It was better than the other two, but
it was
wasn't
better than the other two.
It wasn't
There's nothing
like,
to write home about.
Yeah, it wasn't some of the other singers that we've had on the show, but she definitely did a good job.
And that, again, that's another thing I'm so annoyed at by these judges. And I don't know if it's either the editing or the way the crowd is, but it wasn't that great. It was okay. I wasn't moved. Not that I get moved. I don't cry like Ken every freaking episode. But I
this
just
show
thought
coming from the guy who will roll a tear at a movie in a heartbeat.
Well, yeah, because they've inflicted feelings in me for these characters, unlike her, where she comes out and belts out a song that's just okay. I don't get overly emotional about that stuff. And but yeah, she, according to everybody, was was amazing, which is kind of funny considering the path that's already been written for her character in these 3 episodes.
Yeah, and
she was
Corey,
she was about to get voted off. She gets pissed. She storms off. Comes back and oh wait, she gets to stay.
I'm still,
wait,
and I'm
week,
telling you that this was
the winner.
This was all part of her character for the episode, and it's based off of the person that she is, and I'm telling you that's where that comes from.
But the thing is, they had no idea how this was all going to play out. She could have literally had less votes this week and been voted off. Then what would they have done?
Well,
so that whole thing last week.
This is true, but they don't film these things in a bottle. They film all these episodes one right after another. I'm almost positive of it.
Maybe so.
And mainly because there's a couple of episodes where the judges don't change clothes. So these episodes are filmed back to back in a lot of cases. So the path that they've taken is kind of predetermined for them. Whether or not they win probably isn't, but I think the reactions to them are produced, obviously. So and that's why I think that was part of the thing. But
yeah, it's a bad choice by the producers.
Maybe so. But there are clues for her that she used to love to dress up in her mom's clothes all the time. A huge picture of Kanye West. The party
it's Kim Kardashian. That's who it is. It's Kim Kardashian.
That girl is too small to be Kim Kardashian, and you know what I mean. And that's all I'm going to say about that. She talks about how her mom making her have a party for her friends and charging them, and that party,
it's Kim Kardashian.
That party was a skateboard party because there was a half pipe in the background and all that stuff. There was a fire alarm, which I don't know. TNT, she was holding a stick of TNT, and JoJo Siwa was her friend, and Shine Bright, my friend, is what she says in that clue. I will tell you now that I am correct in my initial locked-in first impression guess of who this person was, and that is Teyana Taylor. On top of that, the Kanye West thing, after she left from working with Pharrell, she went to Kanye's label, and that would explain the big Kanye scene. So I'm 100% right about who this is. Bottom line, it's Teyana Taylor.
I have a feeling that you are going to probably slaughter me this season.
I don't know. I've missed a bunch of them, including the one from this week that I was dead set on being the fact.
Well, so that brings us to Thingamabob. No, Thingamabob
was for Cyclops.
Cyclops. Yeah, I had nothing on this. Now the thing of it is, they went back and they showed some of the clues and all. It's like, oh shit, and I should have seen it too. I mean, I wouldn't have naturally gone to Jorge Garcia
Mhm.
as the Cyclops. I'm just going to go ahead and mention it now.
I was like, you just well, so much for holding out.
No. I mean, there's only 3 of them. Let's just do it.
I know, but we didn't give out thingamabobs.
Yeah, we'll go back to.
So we're circling around.
Yeah, we'll circle back.
Okay.
As somebody says, we find out it's Jorge, and I haven't seen this dude in a long time.
Well, that's because you didn't watch Hawaii 5-0.
That's true.
He's in Hawaii 5-0, but just recently. So
the only Hawaii 5-0 I want to watch is the one from the 70s, and I don't even want to watch that. So, but there were a lot of clues in this package that, and he even was pointing them out to Lost, and which makes me wonder. I wonder if it's the contestants are the ones that are suggesting what to put in the clue package, and it's not the producers that are doing this. Because he knew what was in the clue package.
Right.
And knew specific, like even little stuff that was specific, like Lost. So I wonder, not that it's like,
I mean, I think that it would make sense that they give them like, I feel like they would give them like a bunch of different options of clues, and the dog is like fighting with me.
I didn't know if there was some kind of spirit over there that was trying to pull you into another dimension.
Let go. Stop. He just put this in my hand. And when I grabbed it, he just started yanking it around, so that was making my...
That's what I don't... I know we're getting off topic here, but that's what I don't understand about dogs. They're like, here, have this.
Right.
Now I want it back. Right. You should have just kept it.
Yeah.
Anyhow, I hadn't seen Jorge in a while. It was kind of nice to see him again, because he, on Lost, he was one of my favorite characters.
Yeah, absolutely my favorite character.
Him and the dude from Lord of the Rings, Dominic Monaghan's character. Those were probably my favorite too.
I like Mr. Echo.
Yeah, but not to get off on a Lost conversation here, but yeah, I he was creeping me. I didn't know what the deal was. But yeah, so it was good to see him, and it looked like he just had was enjoying being there. Good for him. That brings us on.
Hold on, but let's talk about my failure.
Yeah, well,
because
the fact that one of us got that right.
I managed to turn every last clue into Corey Feldman. Like,
yes, you did.
Solidly, like, made points that this could have been Corey Feldman. And when you were like, dude, I'm telling you, that voice is not Corey Feldman, I'm like, dude, you're fucking wrong. I know I'm right. I found all the clues. I know what matched. It makes sense. Even this week when they were like, oh, this person asked me to sing on his album, I was like, yeah, because Corey Feldman, Michael Jackson, we're done. Like, this is a dead deal. Like, I know that this is right. Even though there was a fiddle involved, and I was like, where the hell did Michael Jackson ever use a fiddle? But
I'll be honest. When it came down to it, I just said, okay, we'll go with Corey Feldman.
Well, I saw that then they had the Head of David, which was a sculpture, like an art piece by Michelangelo. So it's like maybe
don't forget Goonies.
And then there was the Goonies reference. Yep, there's the Goonies reference.
Well, yeah, because the statue at the beginning of the movie,
yep.
they break off
the appendage,
the wiener,
the appendage.
There we go. And so theoretically, yeah,
like
maybe it was, and they substituted him out.
I don't know, but all signs to me pointed to, and yes, I do use Google and everything else possible to try to figure out the clues that they give us. And I managed to go down a rabbit hole that turned this into Corey Feldman and was completely wrong when it ends up being Jorge Garcia. Because I was like, yeah, I didn't see that coming at all.
Yeah, told you. I knew that voice wasn't his.
Right.
So Thingamabob was the other person that was voted out.
Buddy.
And again, we said it was somebody tall.
Damn.
And thought it was a basketball player. That was my prediction. Vic, on the other hand, laid out all these clues last week and said this is who it is. And it turns out
to be Jordan Mailata.
He was right. It was him.
Right.
And so, to the surprise of everybody, and they're going, "Oh my god, I had no idea." I will give each one of you judges $50 if you can legitimately say you know who that is, even with the mask off.
Hold on.
Because I guarantee you do not know who an offensive tackle is for the Philadelphia Eagles when you all live in California and there's a
I see what you're saying.
slight chance you watch the NFL. So don't give me that shit.
I think Ken was the only one who knew who he was.
Allegedly.
I think Ken is the only one, but Ken supposedly, and he's spoken a lot outside of this show about football things, so he may possibly be the only one who may have possibly known who he was. But I'm actually a fan of the Eagles, and I didn't catch it right away. Like, that dude is that. If you look at him next to all of the rest of the Eagles lineup, he towers over almost all of them. And, like, it didn't even dawn on me right away that it was him. So, like...
I was kind of surprised because I figured as an offensive lineman, he would have been bigger. Not height-wise, but weight-wise. And
he's like 300 and some, like, he's high threes, mid threes.
Yeah, but he didn't look like, some big, like, stocky offensive lineman. And I'm trying to be nice about it.
You're trying to say he didn't look like some fat offensive lineman, but no, he's just a massive muscle-bound dude. Like his proportion, he's got like, and then this is weird, but it's because I read I went and read his bio after I figured out who he was. But he's got like 20% body fat, so he's literally just a solid mass of muscle. And at 300 and some odd pounds, at a solid mass of muscle, that's a huge human being. Like,
yeah, in all fairness, he used to play rugby, so he's probably in much leaner shape,
right?
Than a typical offensive
Very
lineman.
much a running person as opposed to just a. I mean, they have him there because he's a slab, and they can't move him. Right. But in rugby terms, like, it's just what it is. Like,
but he took the mask. He took a mask off, and he seems like a really nice guy, and really down to earth, and
but one thing that did happen when he was doing his clue pack after they did the clue package and he sang and he started talking, his Australian accent slipped a little bit, like right at the beginning of it, and I was like, how do you guys not hear that accent? They're like, oh, well, kangaroo, maybe he's hopping in front. I'm like, no, how did you not hear that Australian accent?
Once I saw the kangaroo in this week's clue package, I was like, okay, he's Australian. And we had already talked about it, so I was like, that's probably who it is. I didn't bother to make that my choice. But yeah, I mean, this, like I said, this group of competitors, it was really tough, and good for them for finally making it tough on us, at least for me.
Well, I mean, where it comes out of it, what was the total number? There were
five.
There were five total. No, there were five total, I think. And out of that five, I got two. So I'm not doing great, but I'm doing pretty good.
You're doing better than I am.
I'm pretty sure I got two because I'm almost 100% positive, and I am 100% positive that's Tiana Taylor. But with that said, I have two that were solidly done. I had no idea. I know who the Cake Boss guy is. There's nothing that would have led me to him.
He's not Cake Boss. He's the other guy. But you know what I mean.
But like I wouldn't have gotten around to him at all. Joe Buck. I mean, if I had have seen Domino Masters before I saw that episode, I would have figured out Joe Buck, possibly. But then mainly because I saw the House Street guy, or whatever his name is. But, like, I even watched that show, by the way.
Did you?
Yeah, I did.
And was it worth it?
It's yeah.
Overproduced?
Yeah. It's really, really, like, it's odd. I don't know. I mean, it was okay to watch because the domino thing they were doing is cool. Like they have groups of three that come in. There's 4 groups of 3 and they're doing it like a tournament style. And they give them a theme to run with, and they have to make a domino. They have to make a domino board that meets the theme and like uses as many dominoes as possible and shows off as many domino skills as possible. But they basically did it exactly the way they did Lego Masters. They just did it with dominoes. and it's
that's what I figured.
it's a really weird like copycat of the Lego Master Show. But like watching there's something satisfying about watching dominoes dump, and that was actually the best part of it, like the cool shit that people were managed to do with it. But overall, it's one of those like, here's another thing we can put on Fox. So
that's Hollywood for you nowadays. Yeah. Let's say we've got this type of show. How can we slightly change
vaguely popular? Different? It seemed vaguely popular, so we're going to make another show that's almost exactly like it, but just a little bit different.
Yeah.
Enjoy.
So needless to say, I'll never watch it. Yeah, that's going to be the end of the first group. Firefly moves on to the finals.
Yeah, so there's no semifinals for her. But next week we're going to get to see the Hydra, which obviously is a group again, like multi-person.
Here's the thing: they showed that, and they're like, "This is go to blah 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 to see our most elaborate,
our largest costume ever."
This is what made me think of something. We had the heads, the Russian nesting dolls one season, and we had there was something else last season, and with multiple people. This is the Masked Singer.
Mm-hmm.
Now that implies that it's a singer wearing a mask. Nope. At this point,
it's costume
they've
singers.
gotten so much. They've gotten so much. It's something that they actually have to step into.
Right. At
some point, we're going to have them. I don't know. Dressing up in boxes, and you have to guess who's in the box. I mean, it's
who's in the box?
What's in the box? But it's gonna get to the point. It's not even. It's so far gone from the original idea that it's just lost all meaning.
Yeah.
So, probably by that time I'll really be tired of it. So, that's gonna be all for this episode. We do want to thank you for watching, and we apologize for any grumpiness there may be. And on behalf of Vic,
that's me.
I'm Corey. Thanks for watching. We'll talk to you next time.
See ya.